President Vance held a private roundtable this afternoon with federal law enforcement and some Minnesota business leaders, although he didn't say who they were. Afterward, he addressed the press for about a half hour about that federal immigration enforcement operation that, of course, has continued for several weeks now. With a row of federal agents behind him, Vice President Vance defended the work of ICE and gave no indication that they would slow their operations here. He blamed the chaos on Governor Walz and Mayor Jacob Fry and others for not cooperating with federal immigration authorities. But those Democratic officials have been very critical of the immigration enforcement actions here. Earlier this week, some local law enforcement leaders claimed that U.S. citizens and even their own off-duty officers had been racially profiled by agents. We asked Vice President Vance about that today. Earlier this week, local law enforcement accused federal agents of racial profiling. Why are there so many U.S. citizens being caught up in this operation?
Well, I think your question assumes something that's not necessarily in evidence, which is that when there are American citizens who have been caught up in some of these enforcement operations, very often it is people who have assaulted a law enforcement officer.
Vice President Vance also said that any allegation of racial profiling would be investigated, but he denied that the practice was widespread. And in the last half hour or so, we've heard Mayor Fry responding to the vice president's comments. Again, he has demanded that ICE leave the city, and he's challenging many of the assertions made by the vice president about the lack of cooperation. Back to you.
But Danny, you said it doesn't appear that this will end anytime soon, this surge?
Yes, actually, the vice president said today that he wishes he could have agents in other cities, but they believe that they still have work to do here. And so really nothing from his comments that would suggest that they're going to be tailing back or taking agents out of the cities at all.
All right, Danny, thank you.